Welcome to LinesToGo installation videos. Today we will be removing and installing front brake lines on a 2001 Honda Accord using LinesToGo part number BL-1113-SS. While this particular installation is being performed on a 2001 Honda Accord, this set of lines will also fit the following year, make, and models as shown on your screen now. LinesToGo lines are made using original equipment end forms and fittings that are CNC bent for an easy and precise installation. We have also upgraded to stainless steel braided Teflon hoses for rust protection and to prevent surface fouling. These have an unlimited shelf life and anti-static PTFE liner. This set of LinesToGo lines are made using 304L stainless steel for rust resistance that exceeds OEM standards. Tech tip: disconnect the battery before working on a vehicle to reduce the risk of shorting out the battery on tools or lines. LinesToGo lines are made with a sectional design for easier installation. We also use color-coded unions on our sectioned lines. Just match the colors at the connections. Tools required: 10mm, 12mm, 13mm, and 14mm wrenches, 19mm socket and ratchet, flat blade screwdriver, cutting pliers, drain pan, jack and jack stands. The level of difficulty for this installation is considered to be easy. Start by disconnecting the negative battery terminal using a 10mm wrench. At the master cylinder, remove the primary and secondary line threaded fittings using a 12mm wrench. Behind the engine on the firewall, remove the vacuum hose from the top of the vacuum canister. Lift up on the canister to remove it from the bracket on the firewall and remove it from the vehicle. Use a pair of cutting pliers to cut the primary and secondary brake line at the center of the firewall. Remove the two lines from the plastic clip at the firewall. Remove the driver's side section of the primary and secondary lines from the vehicle. Next, use a 10mm wrench to remove both lower threaded fittings from the proportioning valve located below the master cylinder. Remove the plastic clip that secures the lines together below the master cylinder. Use a pair of cutting pliers to cut the remaining brake lines at the center of the firewall. Remove the lines from the plastic clip at the firewall and remove the two driver's side sections of the rear feed lines from the vehicle. Raise and support the vehicle and use a 19mm socket to remove all four wheels from the vehicle. Use a 10mm wrench to remove the threaded fittings from both front flex hoses inside of the front wheel wells. Remove the driver's side section of the left front brake line from the vehicle. On the passenger side of the engine, use a flat blade screwdriver to open the plastic clips that secure the lines and remove them from the vehicle. Use a 10mm wrench to remove the four inboard threaded fittings from the ABS module. Open the plastic clip at the passenger side of the firewall and remove the brake lines from the clips. Remove the passenger side section of the left front and the two rear feed lines from the vehicle. Next, use a 12mm wrench to remove the 2 remaining threaded fittings from the ABS module. Remove the passenger side section of the primary and secondary lines from the vehicle. With all the other lines removed, the right front brake line can now be removed from the vehicle. To begin the installation of your new LinesToGo stainless steel brake lines, start by installing the right front brake line labeled 04 into position. Start the bottom threaded fitting into the right front flex hose. Next, install the passenger side section of the secondary line labeled 02B into position. Start the threaded fitting into the rear outboard port on the ABS module. Note, this line is routed underneath the right front line, which is why we left the right front line disconnected at the ABS module. You can now start the threaded fitting for the right front line into the ABS module. Tighten the 2 threaded fittings in the right front brake line using a 10mm wrench. Next, install the driver's side section of the secondary LinesToGo brake line labeled 02A into position and start the threaded fitting into the front port of the master cylinder. Connect the 2 sections of line at the union, noting the LinesToGo color-coded connection, and tighten using 2 14mm wrenches. Secure the line into the plastic clips at the firewall. Tighten the threaded fittings in the master cylinder and the ABS module using a 13mm wrench. Next, install the passenger side section of the primary LinesToGo brake line labeled 01B into position. Start the threaded fitting into the ABS module. Next, install the driver's side section of the primary brake line labeled 01A into position and start the threaded fitting into the rear port in the master cylinder. Start the threaded union, noting the LinesToGo color-coded connection, and tighten using 2 14mm wrenches. Secure the line into the plastic clips. Tighten the threaded fittings in the master cylinder and the ABS module using a 13mm wrench. Next, install the passenger side section of the left rear feed line, labeled 05B, into position, and start the threaded fitting into the ABS module by hand. Next, install the driver's side section of the left rear line, labeled 05A, into position. Start the threaded fitting into the rear port in the proportioning valve. Connect the 2 lines at the threaded union, noting the LinesToGo color-coded connection, and tighten using a 10mm and a 13mm wrench. Secure the line into the plastic clips. Use a 10mm wrench to tighten the threaded fittings in the proportioning valve and the ABS module. Next, install the passenger side section of the right rear line labeled 06B into position and start the threaded fitting into the ABS module. Install the next section of the right rear LinesToGo brake line labeled 06A into position and start the threaded fitting into the front port in the proportioning valve. Connect the 2 sections of line at the threaded union and tighten using a 10mm and a 13mm wrench. Secure the line into the plastic clips. Tighten the threaded fittings in the proportioning valve and the ABS module using a 10mm wrench. Next, install the passenger side section of the left front line labeled 03B into position. Start the threaded fitting into the front port in the ABS module. Next, install the driver's side section of the left front LinesToGo brake line labeled 03A into position. Start the threaded fitting into the left front flex hose by hand. Connect the 2 lines at the threaded union and tighten using a 10mm and a 13mm wrench. Tighten the threaded fittings in the left front flex hose and the ABS module using a 10mm wrench. Secure the lines into the plastic clips and replace any clips removed earlier. Use a 10mm wrench to bleed all 4 wheels, making sure to keep the brake fluid reservoir topped up with fluid. Replace the vacuum canister on the firewall, lining up the plastic tab on the rear, and then connect the vacuum tube removed earlier. Replace all 4 wheels and torque to your manufacturer's recommended specifications using a 19mm socket. Reconnect the negative battery terminal and tighten using a 10mm wrench. This concludes the installation of stainless steel brake lines on a 2001 Honda Accord using LinesToGo part number BL-1113-SS. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions or would like to purchase the lines you saw today, please call us at 1-855-781-5992. Email us at info@linestogo.com or check out our website link below. And don't forget to take advantage of our free 2-day shipping. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button below, and we will see you on our next video.